Yeah. Condensation pools around the wooden coaster. My thumb traces the damp dark maple grain. Outside the heat wave bakes the empty pavement, but inside here the breeze feels almost sane. The black Americano sweats and glass, clinking softly as the cues collide. I watch the tiny air bubbles floating past, keeping every heavy thought inside. 30 degrees beyond the double pane. I count the seconds as the ice drops low. Nothing urgent left to really explain, just taking everything nice and slow. Cold espresso dripping through my veins, washing off the sticky summer haze. Sit alone while the afternoon wanes, finding peace inside these quiet days. Bitter dark roast, sweet leaf at last, letting all the rushing hours freeze. Watching the urban heat drift past, comforted by this indoor Arctic breeze. Hey, a silver star rests against the rim. My reflection wobbles in the dark, dark brown. The coffee shop speakers stay soft and dim, filtering out the sirens from downtown. People walk by with sweat upon their brow, while I hold the still glass in my palms. I don't need to answer anyone right now, lost in my own solitary calms. 30 degrees beyond the double pane. I count the seconds as the ice drops low. Nothing urgent left to really explain, just taking everything nice and slow. Cold espresso dripping through my veins, washing off the sticky summer haze. Sitting alone while the afternoon wanes, finding peace inside these quiet days. Bitter dark roast, sweet leaf at last, letting all the rushing hours freeze. Watching the urban heat drift past, comforted by this indoor Arctic breeze. Maybe adulthood is just learning how to sit with a nice cup when the world gets loud. Not solving problems, just cooling down a bit away from the pressure of the midday crowd. The glass grows slick, my fingers cold and numb, and for once I feel completely fine. The last cube melts into the amber rain. Summer outside, but cold inside my head. I take one last sip, appreciating everything, leaving all the heavy words unsaid. Just cold coffee and me. Scooter tires hiss on damp asphalt right outside the window. A delivery bell chirps twice as the traffic light turns green. You slide into the corner booth with your sleeves rolled up, dropping your canvas bag like it weighs 100 pounds. I already ordered for you cold brew with double ice. I know your team late, kept you past midnight twice this week. Look at the glass wetting faster than the afternoon heat. Just breathe out all the stale office air into the room. You always try to hold every falling plate at once. Your phone screen keeps glowing with emails you ought to ignore. Push your face down on the laminate table for an hour. The humidity outside cannot touch us in here. Take a long sip, let the frost hit your tongue. We have nowhere to rush while the afternoon is young. Watch the ice cubes clink against the heavy glass. Let the summer outside just spinning past. You do not have to explain why you look so worn out. Just sit with the cold drink and let go of the doubt. Remember when we used to buy cheap canned coffees and sit on plastic stools by the convenience store at 3? We thought turning 28 meant having things figured out. Now we just trade stories about rent and burnout. Listen to your straws stir the dark liquid down. The city keeps humming this relentless heavy sound. Take off your wristwatch, leave it resting by the napkin tray. We are keeping this little corner quiet for today. Take a long sip, let the frost hit your tongue. We have nowhere to rush while the afternoon is young. Watch the ice cubes clink against the heavy glass. Let the summer outside just spin and pass. ice is melting slow now, turning dark coffee pale. We still have time before the evening sun turns pale. Finish your glass, my friend, I will get us one more round. Yeah. Roses smoking wet asphalt, mingle outside the glass door. He sits near the air conditioner's low, mechanical hum. His fingertips trace the sweat on a tall plastic cup. Dark roast iced coffee, clinking ice cubes in a rhythmic drum. She sits across, twisting her phone face down. July heat bakes the crowded Soul Street outside. They talk about nothing, avoiding the heavy stuff, just letting the chill of the afternoon slide. The glass gets slippery under his thumb. Neither one mentions where the summer is going. He takes a slow sip through a green straw, while the city hums outside fast and glowing. He drinks cold coffee while the summer burns. Ice melts slow as the conversation turns. A tiny oasis off the heavy concrete avenue. Bittersweet espresso in a shaded hue. Yeah, they stay inside where the winter air stays fake, taking small sips for every decision they do not make. Yeah, her iced latte turns pale from the cream mixing in. He checks his watch but nobody wants to leave. The hum of the espresso machine spins again. A breeze from the ceiling fan catches her sleeve. Two people in their 20s playing cool in the humidity, hiding all their worries behind a $5 brew. He swishes the ice, watching cues flow free, dreaming of a beach neither of them ever knew. The glass drips onto a paper napkin square. A sudden rain shower rinses off the hot street. He looks at her, smile through the frosted air. For 3 short minutes the season feels sweet. No big promises, no tragic goodbyes, just dark coffee beans and cold glass eyes. He drinks cold coffee while the summer burns. Ice melts slow as the conversation turns. A tiny oasis off the heavy concrete avenue. Bittersweet espresso in a shaded hue. They stay inside where the winter air stays fake, taking small sips for every decision they do not make. The straw clinks on the bottom plastic ring. Outside the heat waits to take back control. Leaves a small tip on the counter edge. Cool caffeine keeping 2 young hearts whole. Silence hangs thick in the room until a sudden memory snaps the thread. The camera pans across the ceiling fan, spinning on medium speed. Dust motes freeze mid-air while heat hums against the glass. I reach down toward the tall tumbler sitting beside my screen. Dark roast poured over cracked clear cubes, swirling dark amber. The straw clicks against the plastic rim as the frame slows down. A sudden thought of last July breaks through the quiet stillness. You were leaning on the doorway while the air conditioner rattled. Zooming in on the frost, clinging to the plastic wall. The beat drops off, a rhythmic lo-fi loop in the background. Summer heat outside burns the sidewalk to a bright glare. Inside the temperature sits right at 68 degrees. Cinematic cuts of iced Americano dripping down my palm. A quiet afternoon frozen in a 30mm lens. We spent the summer chasing shadows under neon star signs. Now I sip the bitter cold alone while the city melts away. Light leaks through the blinds, casting stripes across the desk. I take another slow swallow, watching the ice turn into water. Focus pulls to the condensation ring, leaving a mark on paper. The baseline rolls smooth like street lights turning on early. A random impulse to text you flashes on the dark display, then fades out just as fast, replaced by the humming fan. The glass gets lighter as the dark liquid dissolves into pale tin. outside, a yellow bus passes, blurring in the heat haze. Every frame feels sharp, every shadow carries your weight. Or why shy of the empty couch across the rug, color gray shifting into muted blue and soft gray. The ice clinks softly as I stir the black liquid. One single thought broke the silent room in half. Now the scene just plays on loop until sunset. Cinematic of iced Americano dripping down my palm. A quiet afternoon frozen in a 30mm lens. We spent the summer chasing shadows under neon store signs. And now I sip the bitter cold alone while the city melts away. Light leaks through the blinds, casting stripes across the desk. I take another slow swallow, watching the ice turn into water. Faded black on a half-empty cup. The heat outside stays beyond the glass. Cold coffee, quiet room, late August. The screen goes dark. Why does the ice shrink faster when nobody's talking? Maybe it's embarrassed by the quiet in this booth. My shirt sticks to the vinyl seat, a small blue map of sweat outside. A delivery driver zooms past the alley wall. I count 3 missed calls from a number I deleted back in March. The straw turns in circles, blinking twice against the wall. I wonder if my dog remembers how my old apartment smelled. Is it 28 degrees outside or 32 today? The barista wiped the counter 4 times in 20 minutes. I guess we both have habits that just keep us looking busy. Cold liquid running down my dry throat. Brain freeze coming on, but I don't stop. Thought about calling you, then I thought about rent. Thought about getting up, then I sat right back down. I'm just sitting with an iced Americano in July, watching the condensation trace a line down to my thumb. Everything is moving so fast outside the glass, while I'm trying to decide if I should stay or if I'm done. Bittersweet bean, dark roasted clarity. Nothing really changes, but the temperature feels right. Yeah. Did I leave the fan on in the bedroom when I left? The plastic lid has a small crack near the mouth hole. I can see my reflection in the dark brown liquid surface. Looks a little tired, looks like someone turned 30 yesterday. A girl in a yellow dress drops a bus pass on the tile. I wanna tell her, but she's already through the double doors. My mind jumps from rent payments to that trip we took to Gang Young. The ocean wants to cover, we pretended it was fine. Now the air conditioner blows right on my neck, giving me chills. Summer is just winter wearing a very bright disguise. Cool liquid running down my dry throat. Brain freeze coming on, but I don't stop. Thought about calling you, then I thought about rent. Thought about getting up, then I sat right back down. I'm just sitting with an iced Americano in July, watching the condensation trace a line down to my thumb. Everything is moving so fast outside the glass, while I'm trying to decide if I should stay or if I'm done. Bittersweet bean, dark roasted clarity. Nothing really changes, but the temperature feels right. Yeah. Is there a point where the water dilutes the taste so much that it isn't coffee anymore? Just dark, watery regret. My phone screen glows with news about a storm that's miles away. I swirl the remaining cubes until they turn to tiny pebbles. Maybe I'm overthinking, maybe I just need another shot. Or maybe I just miss the way you used to steal my straw. Clink, clink, down to the bottom, sucking up air through the plastic. What time was I supposed to meet them again? Forget it, just one more sip before the ice melts completely. Forward and like back sink heavy into the floorboards as I finally settle down. The summer afternoon breeze hot against the window, but I am motionless now. I pull a glass of dark cold brew close, ice clinking soft against the glass. If I could send a message through the heat wave, I would write to you at last. You were sitting on a broken plastic stool, back bent over a tiny desk, staring at an empty screen, convinced that every path ahead was a mess. To the kid running through the July dust, wiping sweat off a pale forehead, worrying if the dreams you chase would leave you hungry or dead. Take a breath right now, the heat will not break you down. I'm sitting in the shade you earned from me, drinking iced coffee in the breeze. Every panic attack in your tiny room brought me right here to this moment of ease. You were terrified of failing every single night, but look at where we stand under the afternoon light. The glass is cold, the sun is bright, and everything turned out alright. Remember surviving on cold convenience store meals and 501 in your coat. You stayed awake past 3 a.m. writing verses you thought nobody would quote. You thought July was a furnace built to burn away a young design. Now I watch the condensation drip down the glass in a perfect straight line. You were so heavy with doubt, carrying the world on a 22-year-old spine. Relax your shoulders, now the rent is paid and the songs are doing fine. I'm sitting in the shade you earned from me, drinking iced coffee in the breeze. Every panic attack in your tiny room brought me right here to this moment of ease. You were terrified of failing every single night, but look at where we stand under the afternoon light. The glass is cold, the sun is bright, and everything turned out alright. Yeah. If time could fall like a paper napkin resting beneath this wet cup, I would put a hand on your thin shoulder and tell you to look up. Stop checking the inbox every 10 seconds. Stop holding your breath inside. The future you were so afraid of is just a quiet corner where we reside. The chair holds my full weight now, no need to run anymore. I'll sip the melted ice, watching the heat haze dance outside the door. To the boy who stayed up terrified through the July heat, thank you for not giving up on me. Pale amber glare spills over this low table, turning my glass into a prism of gold. You ask if the seat beside me is taken, holding a dark roast dripping with cold. I shift my toe back, not without thinking, watching the condensation fall on our cups. You say summer in the city feels heavy, and I agree before the ice melts up. We don't swap names or trade our histories, just talk about how fast July slips away. You point at the glass, say cold brew fixes everything, at least for 20 minutes of the day. Cold caffeine running down our throats, two strangers breathing in the shaded breeze. Outside the asphalt is burning up the street, but right here we're floating at easy degrees. A short conversation, no heavy promises, just ice clinking loud while the afternoon dies. We swallow the chill and let the quiet stay, looking at the city through tinted skies. You tell me you work 3 blocks down the avenue, editing videos that no one really sees. I talk about deadline blues and skip lunches. Our espresso is the only thing supporting my needs. We laugh a little soft, real low and conversational, the kind of laugh you give to someone passing through. You swirl your plastic cup in tiny circles, seeing small breaks are all we ever get to. Don't swap names or trade our histories, just talk about how fast July slips away. You point at the glass, say cold brew fixes everything, at least for 20 minutes of the day. Cold caffeine running down our throats, two strangers breathing in the shaded breeze. Outside the asphalt is burning up the street, but right here we're floating at easy degrees. A short conversation, no heavy promises, just ice clinking loud while the afternoon dies. We swallow the chill and let the quiet stay, looking at the city through tinted skies. again tomorrow. Maybe you will forget the words that we spoke, but while this condensation drips on my fingers, the heat outside doesn't feel like a choke. You finish your cup and slide off the stool, leaving a ring of water on the wood. A nod goodbye, a small polite smile. The pale amber light shifts after a while. Cold glass in hand, the traffic sounds fast. A 5-minute sanctuary made to last. Yeah, you told me yesterday I'd leave the straw plastic wrap. Now I watch the paper wrapper turn soggy on my lap. A delivery bike idles outside the laundromat door. A green bus turns the corner, air brakes hiss across the floor. The clerk behind the counter clicks a blue ballpoint twice. A stray cat shadows a lady carrying a box of peaches on ice. I take a long sip, bitter coated in my throat real sharp, thinking about how your casual sentence stayed inside my heart. The overhead unit blows a faint scent of citrus wax. Someone's silver ring clinks against a white mug stack. July sits on the asphalt like a heavy wet sheet. I count 8 tiny bubbles floating where the foaming glass meet. Cold Americano dripping down a plastic rim. That green traffic light blinks once, then turns red again. I write down 5 small things I noticed in the street side frame. The sound of crushed ice clinking as the heat plays its game. Your words from yesterday still hanging in the humid breeze. Just a cold drink in hand and a dozen small memories. Across the alley a tailor pulls down his metal screen. A girl in yellow sandals steps over a wet spot on the pavement green. My left collar has a crease where I folded it wrong. The corner speaker plays a 4-year-old indie song. A circle of sweat leaves a dark ring on my notebook page. The wooden table under my elbow shows its painted age. I stir the ice 3 times counterclockwise, just like you remarked. The city feels like a quiet movie after the park gets dark. A paper napkin, tears into 3 uneven strips. The dark roast of bitterness stays on the middle of my lips. A truck driver finishes a canned coffee in a single swallow. A dry leaf lands in a potted fern that looks hollow. None of these details mean a lot on their own tonight, but yesterday you said I never look at things quite right. The last cube hits my teeth, clean and cold. A red scooter disappears into an alley-o. Your voice from yesterday stays quiet and clear. July afternoon moving slow right here. Cold glass in my palm. Small things left to find. Coarse linen rubs against my thigh as I rest my wrist against the frosted glass. The chill bleeds through the woven threads, and suddenly the quiet years pull back. I remember a shirt you used to wear, rough cotton bleached by July air. We bought 2 cold brews at the corner shop and watched the traffic at the bus stop. The straw hums low beneath my thumb, bitterness melting on my tongue. One sip brings back the hum of beat up fans, and how your fingers brush my hands. Sucking cold brew through a paper straw, watching 3 years melt away in the heat. You were laughing with your sleeves rolled up, leaving drops of water on the vinyl seat. Summer held us like a velvet trap. Now I am alone with the sweating cup, tracing the weave of my shirt today, wishing the memory would just wash away. Yeah. Thin cotton shirt, frayed at the hem. I keep forgetting how we ended back then. You liked extra ice, I liked the plane. We spent noon dodging the midday rain under the awning of a closed down store. Your wet sleeve pressed against mine once more. That scratchy fabric felt so warm and real. Now all I have is this plastic seal, and the condensation trickling down my wrist, a cold reminder of the things I knew. Straw hums low beneath my thumb, bitterness melting on my tongue. One sip brings back the hum of beat up fans, and how your fingers brush my hands. Sucking cold brew through a paper straw, watching 3 years melt away in the heat. You were laughing with your sleeves rolled up, leaving drops of water on the vinyl seat. Summer held us like a velvet trap. Now I am alone with the sweating cup, tracing the weave of my shirt today, wishing the memory would just wash away. fabrics fade when you wash them twice.
His feelings dilute like melted ice.
I wipe the water off my knee.
Where the linen fabric used to be.
So soft, so thin, so long ago.
Before we learned to let it go. Just ice and linen in the afternoon. Another summer passing way too soon. I take a last sip, set the cup down low, and let the memory go.
Four p.m. blinks red on the kitchen wall. I swirl the dark liquid while the ice cubes fall. Outside the asphalt steams in the July heat, and I press the chilled glass to my cheek for relief. Right now my account is running lower than low, but I close my eyes and let the timeline grow. I picture a quiet room 5 years from today, a bigger balcony, a soft blue Saturday. Walking carrying peaches fresh from the stand, and the world isn't slipping right out of my hand. We'll drink cold coffee in our 30-something kitchen. No rent due tomorrow, no heavy heart to strengthen. The summer humidity won't sting like it does today. When we look back at 25 and smile at the pain. Just cold brew, white curtains, and a high floor breeze. Living out the future that I dream on my knees. Yeah, I hear the glass clink like a promise in advance. In that upcoming house, we don't leave love to chance. You'll have that green sofa you keep saved on your screen, and I won't be stressing over what my life should mean. 2 glass straws, resting in a pitcher made of glass, watching the afternoon shadows slowly pass. Maybe the roast will taste lighter that day. Maybe our hair will have a tiny trace of gray. But the cold in my palm right now feels so real, like a down payment on the peace we're gonna feel. We'll drink cold coffee in our 30-something kitchen. No rent due tomorrow, no heavy heart to strengthen. The summer humidity won't sting like it does today. When we look back at 25 and smile at the pain. Just cold brew, white curtains, and a high floor breeze. Living out the future that I dream on my knees. The timer hits 4:01 on the microwave screen. The ice melts down, shifting back the scene. I take another sip of this dark bit of black, knowing one day we'll get there and never look back. A green straw wrapper torn into 3 sits right beside my sweating cup, catching the breeze from the fan above. Yeah, I count the tiny wrinkles on the wet paper, thinking about the heavy words I swallowed earlier today. The bass in my headphones is buzzing low, a 20-something summer moving far too slow. I press the frosted glass against my wrist, wondering if peace feels anything like this. Everyone outside is rushing through the midday light, squinting at their screens, trying to get their lives right. I just stir the dark liquid, watching shadows spin, trying to find where my youth ends and routine begins. Cold foam melting down into the bitter dark, sitting in this corner cafe right across the park. I take a long sip, let the frost clear my head, sorting through the things I should have said instead. Outside the pavement bakes in July heat, inside it's just me, my iced coffee, and a quiet beat. My reflection on the window looks a bit worn out, living in a city built on hurrying out. I used to want the world to know my name, now I just want an air-conditioned room to cool my brain. I swirl the ice cubes, hear them clink and slide, all my anxious thoughts turning soft inside. No urgent calls, no deadline on my plate, just a draft of cool air and a bitter taste. Everyone outside is chasing something out of reach, searching for a miracle or lessons people teach. I just watch condensation run down my palm, finding in the simple glass a sudden kind of calm. Cold foam melting down into the bitter dark, sitting in this corner cafe right across the park. I take a long sip, let the frost clear my head, iced coffee and a quiet beat. Sometimes adulthood is learning how to sit still, taking a breather before climbing the next hill. The sharpness on my tongue feels surprisingly clean, a quiet intermission in a frantic scene. The straw wrapper lies still on the wood. My cup is half empty, but the feeling is good. Just a cool afternoon left right here. One last sip of ice, then I disappear. A delivery motor rattles past the open door. You'll tilt your plastic cup and watch the frost dissolve. Yeah. The alley pavement bakes under July heat, but inside the shade we let the hours pause. Yeah. You haven't mentioned why your shoulders look so tight, or why you picked the table furthest from the sun. You just swirl your cold brew till the ice cubes clink, listening to the city outside run. The summer humidity clings to the window pane. We don't need to fix whatever went wrong today. Just hold the cold glass against your palm and let the heavy air drift away. Drink it slow, my friend, let the chill settle in. The world outside is burning up again. We can sit right here while the ice turns to rain, washing off the noise, washing off the pain. Take a sip of the afternoon, put your worries down. We're the only cool spots left in this whole town. A crosswalk signal chirps, it's double no chime. You trace the ring of water sitting on the wood. You say your 20s feel like running out of time. I'll tell you that we're doing better than we should. Remember when we shared a $1 drink? Now we buy double shots just to stay awake. The street is loud with tires grinding on the tar, but right here we get to take a break. Let the traffic rumble, let the buses pull away. You don't have to figure out tomorrow today. The dark roast melts into the sweet condensed milk, and your top breathing smooths out like silk. Get slow, my friend, let the chill settle in. The world outside is burning up again. We can sit right here while the ice turns to rain, washing off the noise, washing off the pain. Take a sip of the afternoon, put your worries down. We're the only cool spots left in this whole town. Another car horn blares out on the main road. You finally smile, drop in, have your load. Finish up your glass, no need to rush out. That's what summer afternoons are all about. Burnt hazelnut and damp concrete drift through the patio screen. Burnt hazelnut and damp concrete drift through the patio screen. He leans his elbow on the tiny wooden table. A tall glass of cold brew sweats against his knuckles. He counts the condensation dripping down the glass. His phone rests face down next to his keys. The mid-July glare bakes the alleyways outside while he pulls the bitter cold into his chest. He shifts his shoulders in his oversized tee, watching the dark syrup swirl into the ice. The city races by in high-definition blur. He takes a slow drink and lets the moment freeze. He holds a glass of winter in the middle of July. Dark coffee swirling while the heavy heat goes by. One quick sip brings the temperature down. Quiet little haven on the edge of town. He stirs the ice cubes till the chime rings clear, finding summer peace right here. Sweet caramel scents flow over from the counter bar. He taps a finger to the lo-fi beat above. A half-finished mess he sits inside his head. He prefers the silence of the shaded corner shop. The straw clinks gently on the rim of glass. His jacket hangs unneeded on the empty chair. Every bitter note washes off the afternoon exhaustion. Traffic fumes outside clash with sweet vanilla breeze. He sits alone and lets his busy mind unwind. No need to rush into the blinding street out there. As long as there is ice, he leaves the world behind. He holds a glass of winter in the middle of July. Dark coffee swirling while the heavy heat goes by. One quick sip brings the temperature down. Quiet little haven on the edge of town. He stirs the ice cubes till the chime rings clear, finding summer peace right here.
summer. He will not stop.
What do you call the space between two swallows of cold espresso? Maybe it has no name, just like the shadow leaning on my shoe. Yeah, the low electric come off the refrigerator in this neighborhood place. My thumb scrolls past 6 different news alerts I will never read. I count 3 blue plastic chairs lined up across the street. A delivery bike turns left without blinking its indicator. Did I lock my apartment door when I left at noon? I think I left the bedroom window cracked an inch to let the air out. The ice cube hits the plastic wall with a hollow click. My thoughts keep jumping from July to 3 years ago. You were wearing that oversized gray shirt with the frayed hem. Now the sweat on the plastic cup drips onto my knuckles. I do not wipe it off. I just watch the watermark expand on the dark paper sleeve. Everything melts if you wait long enough in July. The bitter dark brew softens into watery grayish brown. I bite down on the plastic straw until the edge flattens out. Nothing is urgent yet my heart beats too fast for 2 p.m. We wanted so many answers back when the air was cold. Now I just want the glass to stay cold for 5 more minutes. The fan overhead spins in 3 slow beats, then stutters on the 4th. My rent is due on Tuesday, my phone battery sits at 40%. Someone outside is laughing too loudly about a movie I missed last month. I wonder if you still drink cold brews with 2 extra pumps of hazelnut. Or maybe you switched to tea because your stomach got sensitive. We never talked about growing older, we just did it in separate rooms. The air conditioner blows a sudden gust of frozen air across my neck. I get goosebumps instantly under this thin cotton sleeve. I trace a wet circle on the wood table using my index finger. Everything melts if you wait long enough in July. The bitter dark rose softens into watery grayish brown. I bite down on the plastic straw until the edge flattens out. Nothing is urgent yet my heart beats too fast for 2 p.m. We wanted so many answers back when the air was cold. Now I just want the glass to stay cold for 5 more minutes. A subway train passes underground, subtle vibration beneath my sneakers. Did you know sunlight strikes at a 90-degree angle right about now? I read that somewhere on a forum while waiting for water to boil last night. Random facts sticking to my brain like wet cotton and humidity. I do not miss you, I just miss the certainty of being 24. Or maybe I do miss you, and I am lying to sound composed. The last cube dissolves into tiny floating needles. The straw slurps air at the bottom, making that awkward noise. Nobody in the cafe looks up. The street outside burns bright and quiet. What do you call the space after the last sip? I guess it remains unnamed. Yeah. Cobalt rays bleed through the awning, turning every napkin a shade of twilight. I flick the sweat off my cold brew glass, and you ask if the stool beside me is free tonight. You drop your tote bag with a heavy sigh, saying the humidity outside makes everybody tired. I'm not pushing the paper sleeves away while the espresso grinder whirs and starts. You look at my drink and ask if it's too bitter. I say cold Americano keeps my mind a bit quicker. You smile, odor in a latte packed with cream. Two strangers sharing space inside an air-cooled dream. The ice cubes rattle in a rhythmic sound, a brief sanctuary on this burning ground. We do not exchange our names or years, just casual words over quiet fears. Talking to a stranger while the sidewalk burns, watching how the condensation drips and turns. You tell me about a job you quit last week. I listen to the calm in the way you speak. Just cold espresso melting in a humid frame. Two passing shadows without a single name. Yeah, you swirl your plastic straw around the plastic rim, saying downtown offices feel far too dim. I laugh softly, mentioning my lease ends in July. We share heavy topics beneath an amber sky. It is strangely comforting to bare my chest to someone who expects nothing from my best. You say summer forces people to drop their mask, asking if I ever get the things I ask. The ice cubes rattle in a rhythmic sound, a brief sanctuary on this burning ground. We do not exchange our names or years, just casual words over quiet fears. Talking to a stranger while the sidewalk burns, watching how the condensation drips and turns. You tell me about a job you quit last week. I listen to the calm in the way you speak. Just cold espresso melting in a humid frame. Two passing shadows without a single name. Tomorrow we will cross at the signal light, stare at our phones and keep our eyes tight. But right now the dark rose clears out the noise, a steady voice balancing my fragile poise. We drain the cold liquid down to the last drop, wishing the afternoon heat would just stop. You wipe your table and stand up to go, leaving a small wave moving nice and slow. The cobalt light softens into peach and gray, a brief intersection at the end of the day. I finish my eyes, watch you cross the line. Two strangers doing just fine. Yeah. You see yesterday that I always look past the window frame. I count 6 small things while the cold Americano settles down. A yellow city bus passes reflecting a slant of pale blue sky. The plastic straw bends left inside the clear double-walled cup. The barista wipes the stainless counter twice in the exact same pattern. My shirt collar has a tiny faint crease near the second button. All these quiet pieces stay right where they belong, while the afternoon heat hums low outside the glass entrance. I pull the frosted plastic closer to my cheek, listening to the heavy ice shifting against the clear wall. This list of little things keeps my head cool. Dark rose floating over clean square cube blocks, a small scratch on the table shaped like a crescent moon. The quiet clicking sound of my wristwatch moving forward. Summer stays outside while I notice every detail in this room. Observation 7, a blue lighter sitting forgotten on the ledge. Observation 8, the air conditioner blade tilting down every 10 seconds. Your words from yesterday spin around my right index finger. I swirl the liquid, making the remaining ice chime softly. A single bead of sweat slides down my forearm to my wrist. The street lamp outside flickers once before staying bright. Maybe you were right about how my attention drifts away. I just like collecting small proof that I am staying present. The condensation ring forming on the smooth laminate finish, the way an ice cube cracks directly down the metal when the warm foam touches it. Observation 13, the cup is half empty now. Observation 14, your voice feels closer than yesterday. Cold plastic resting against my warm palm, just sitting here, marking down the quiet afternoon. Frayed denim cuffs rub against my bare ankle while the air conditioner hums. I press a sweating glass of ice dark roast against my neck until the numbness comes. The condensation leaks into my lap, soaking deep into the faded indigo thread. Suddenly the room dissolves and I'm back inside your crowded kitchen instead. You were standing by the open window cutting your own hair with craft scissors. I was sitting on the counter with a plastic cup, laughing off the July heat wave blitters. We had no money for proper AC, just cheap ice cubes and shared secrets. Now the texture of the soul fabric brings back every single thing I try to regret. 2 quick clinks from the ice inside my glass, pulling me right back into a summer that went by too fast. Your laughter still vibrates through the condensation on the wood. I never thought a cold drink could take me back the way it should. Drinking iced Americano in the heavy summer afternoon glare. Ooh, it. Cotton clings to my arms as I lean back against the booth. I ordered the exact same blend you always swore was way too sharp for your tooth. You used to dump 3 pumps of vanilla syrup while shaking your head at my taste. Now I drink it pitch black, feeling the chill run through my chest in silent ways. The speaker overhead plays a quiet drum loop that matches how you used to tap your feet. I trace the wet circle left on the table, watching the summer crowd move on the street. The fabric of my sweater feels cold where the dripping glass just rested, proving that some old feelings remain completely unexhausted. Was it the sound of glass tapping on glass, or the smell of dark roasted beans that pulled me down the hallway in 19-year-old dreams? I wiped the moisture off the table using the edge of my sleeve, still trying to understand why a summer like that I had to leave. Drinking iced Americano in the heavy summer afternoon glare. I close my eyes and suddenly I feel you sitting right there. The bitter aftertaste brings back every single promise that we broke, floating in a flashback while the asphalt steams with heat and smoke. Ice melts down into liquid, turning bitter into light, stuck inside a memory on a hot July afternoon, holding on tight. One last long sip of watered down coffee, the wet patch on my denim starts to dry. Your voice finally fades out with the melting ice. Just another quiet summer day drifting by. Just me, my frayed sleeves, and the afternoon sky. 6:42 blinks on the microwave clock. The heat outside makes the asphalt lock. I sit at this table, condensation on my thumb, staring at the amber glass I'm drinking from. I swallow the chill and let the dark roast run slow, trapped in a vision of a place we don't know. Yeah. Maybe a balcony with bamboo blinds, maybe a Sunday where nobody minds. I draw the blueprint on the sweating cup, watching the melted clear ice rise up. 10 years from now in the midsummer breeze, will you still hand me an ice glass like these? We'll sit on warm wooden floorboards and trays, the quiet afternoon light falling on your face, a cold dark brew between your hands and mine, living inside this imagined line. Fast forward past rent, doing heavy gray days, past late night subway trains, lost in the maze. A picture in apartment filled with oversized plants, an old refrigerator humming a slow, steady dance. You pull out the pitcher, pour over the ice. No need to ask if I want one shot or twice. The bitter cold comfort settles down in my chest while August air drifts in from the west. Maybe a balcony with bamboo blinds, maybe a Sunday when nobody minds. I draw the blueprint on the sweating cup, watching the melted clear ice rise up. 10 years from now in the midsummer breeze, will you still hand me an ice glass like these? We'll sit on warm wooden floorboards and trays, the quiet afternoon light falling on your face, a cold dark brew between your hands and mine, living inside this imagined line. We aren't there yet, this studio is small. The rumble of the city still vibrates the wall, but sipping this cold drink makes the distance yield, like every anxious summer has a quiet field. I hold the glass up to catch the pale sun, counting our future before it has begun. 6:43 on the digital light, the future feels cool in my palm tonight. In the glass, quiet inside, waiting for us on the other side. Yeah, this tiny silver spoon rests sideways against the wet napkin. The city outside is baking at 33 degrees. Yeah. And everyone is chasing shade under the department store awnings. I count the tiny scratches on the metal curb, watching the way it reflects the dim ceiling fan above me. My phone screen stays dark, turned face down. I take another slow sip of dark roasted bean over crushed ice. The bitterness hits the back of my throat, clearing out the lingering fog. I spent 29 years running after things that evaporate. Now I just want this cold brew to stay freezing until 5. The quiet bass from the speaker overhead keeps the cadence steady. I'm sitting right here, breathing easy for once. Stirring August counterclockwise in a tall glass cup. Let the summer heat stay outside behind the heavy glass door. My thoughts are settling down like cold milk in dark espresso. No urgent calls to answer, no promises left to keep. Just a quiet afternoon, keeping cool all by myself. The small metal spoon clinks against the rim when I nudge it outside. Delivery drivers weave through shimmering heat waves. I used to think every summer needed a grand adventure or a dramatic story, but now a clear glass of iced coffee feels like a full sanctuary. My fingers cool down around the damn glass wall. The bass in my chest matches the low tempo of this track. I watch the condensation pool slowly into a clear circle. It is enough to just exist in this frozen pocket of time. Stirring August counterclockwise in a tall glass cup. Let the summer heat stay outside behind the heavy glass door. My thoughts are settling down like cold milk in dark espresso. No urgent calls to answer, no promises left to keep. Just a quiet afternoon, keeping cool all by myself. Sometimes the best decision is to just sit still, to watch the ice cube shift and balance in the dark liquid. The world moves too fast, demanding answers I do not care to give. Right now the cold in my mouth is the only truth I need. The silver spoon stays put on the paper napkin. The last ice cube turns smoothly in the glass. August rolls past the window pane. I take one last sip and smile to myself. Heavy bus door squeals along the curb. The city hums its midday treble high. You pull the plastic straw between your teeth and watch the dark roast turn a paler tint. You say your manager asks too much again. Your fingers tracing around the frosted rim. Outside the crosswalk signal chimes its beat, while ice cubes rattle softly in your cup. We spent the whole spring running out of breath, chasing the deadline that just kept moving back. Now August sits right here between our knees, a short relief before the evening comes. Drink it slow, let the frost touch your lips. We do not have to fix your life today. Just listen to the cubes clink in the cup and let the street noise wash the heat away. Yeah, you are doing fine, fine, even when you feel stuck under the sun and with the dark cold brew. An iron shutter clatters down the street. A courier shouts above the traffic lane. Yeah, you laugh a little, wiping off your palm, while water gathered on the wood veneer. Remember when we thought 30 was far, like some distant island on a plastic map? Now here we sit, counting up our rent, buying 30 minutes of this shaded breeze. The summer does not ask us what we earned. It just spills its sunlight on the asphalt road. So take another step before it thins. Leave all those unready meals in the dark. Another delivery engine revs and fades. Your glass is mostly clear, condensate now. Take your time. We will walk back when the shadows stretch. An unexpected thought fractures the quiet curtain clean through the stillness of the room. Outside, July bakes the concrete pavement, trapping dust inside this muted gloom. I watch a drop of sweat run down the tumbler, a camera zooming in on heavy air. The ceiling fan spins shadows on the table, blurring out the empty plastic chair. Your old leather toe isn't leaning there now, just a silver straw angled toward the light. The dark rose liquid shifts in pale reflections, changing colors as the sun gets bright. Focus pulls slowly to the doorway outside, where the mirage ripples over heat lines. I swirl the remaining cubes of clear ice, reading every detail in the design. Wide shot of the storefront under green canvas shade, soundtrack of a slow beat, soft and delay. Cold Americano resting on the wooden grain, washing off the summer like a quiet rain. Freeze frame on the glass, while the sweat turns to stream, caught inside a mid-July cinematic dream. Panning left to the low glass display case, past the reflection of a neon sign. A city bus glides through the out of focus background, crossing over the yellow safety line. My thumb traces frost along the rim's outer edge, a close-up shot of hands that lost their chill. The bass line hums beneath the espresso grinder, while the world outside stands completely still. 2 months ago this frame contained your laughter, now it's color graded in a hazy gray. I take a long sip through the green plastic and let the bitter dark rose fade away. Wide shot of the storefront under green canvas shade, soundtrack of the slow beat, soft and delayed. Cold Americano resting on the wooden grain, washing off the summer like a quiet rain. Freeze frame on the glass, while the sweat turns to stream, caught inside a mid-July cinematic dream. Cut to the street corner where the asphalt burns, the slow cinematic reel continuously turns. No dialogue needed in this 30-second take, just the sound of ice against the glass we break. The depth of field softens every single detail as the warm breeze hits the window rail. Fade out on the condensation, dripping down slow. The low beat settles in the space below. One last sip of cold brew in the afternoon haze. End of scene, end of these summer days. Armchair legs bite the top, beneath the weight of every year I held inside. Outside the heat waves bend the sidewalk lines, while I swirl condensation in a plastic cup. I'm looking back at you, 19 and terrified, running through July with bruised ankles and dry throat, thinking if you stopped to breathe you'd fall behind. Yeah, look at us now, sitting in the air-conditioned shade, the bitter dark roast washed with melting ice. You don't have to carry every single mistake, it's okay to let the summer pass you by. Drink it slow, kid, the world won't end today. You don't need to fight every wave in your way. I'm sitting here comfortably 10 years ahead, reading the panic you left in my head. Take a long sip, feel the chill on your tongue. You're doing just fine for someone so young. I remember how you skipped lunch just to afford a jacket, how you thought every silence meant somebody hated you. You stayed up to 3 a.m. chasing small validation, sweating through cheap cotton shirts in a rooftop room. Now I order ice black, extra shot, no sugar, sitting back on a heavy frame that holds me steady. The noise outside is just traffic, not a threat. I wish I could tell you that you were already ready. Think it's slow, kid, the world won't end today. You don't need to fight every wave in your way. I'm sitting here comfortably 10 years ahead, reading the panic you left in my head. Take a long sip, feel the chill on your tongue. You're doing just fine for someone so young. The ice clinks against the rim, a quiet beat, replacing all the racing heartbeats in the heat. You made it to 30, you survived the sweat. There's nothing in the past you need to regret. Armchair legs holding all my weight, the cold glass sweating on a wooden tray. Take a breath, kid, you're gonna be okay. Yeah. Copper light pours through the patio umbrella, staining the white plastic between us. You pointed my glass, asking if the cold brew here is always this bitter. I pull back my paper sleeve and admit I only coming for the free AC. You laugh, setting down a cup filled with half melted ice and dark roast. We do not know each other's names, but the heat outside makes everyone honest. You say your job interview went sideways 2 blocks down the avenue. I slide the coaster closer to your side. The city hums like an old refrigerator outside. 32 degrees in the shade today, nothing left to lose, so we say what we say. Drinking cold coffee with someone I just met, chasing away all the heavy summer sweat. We talk about cities we might move to next, reading our lives like an unedited text. Ice clinks loud against the sweat on the glass, watching the hot afternoon slowly pass. Yeah, you tell me you trained as a graphic designer back in 2020. Yeah, now you deliver packages just to pay rent, but you still dream plenty. I tell you my songs have not paid off the loan on my keyboard yet. We stir our drinks with plastic straws, making a silent bet. Who gets out of this concrete belly first? The cold caffeine barely quenches the summer thirst. You ask if I want half your chocolate muffin, I break it in two, saying it is fine, it is nothing. I slide the coaster closer to your side. The city hums like an old refrigerator outside. 32 degrees in the shade today, nothing left to lose, so we say what we say. Drinking cold coffee with someone I just met, chasing away all the heavy summer sweat. We talk about cities we might move to next, reading our lives like an unedited text. Ice clinks loud against the sweat on the glass, watching the hot afternoon slowly pass. Yeah. 5 minutes left before your bus comes by. The sky turns a deep indigo violet high. No numbers exchanged, no promises made, just 2 tired strangers sitting in the shade. You wipe the table clean with a paper napkin. Sometimes the best talks are the ones that just happen. Copper light fades into twilight gray. You stand up, not once, and walk away. Cold coffee empty, but the weight feels light. Stepping out into the humid July night. Yeah. Your sentence yesterday about my quiet habit hangs inside the room while I ask for extra ice. The barista's blue apron has a coffee stain on the hip. A red delivery scooter cuts through the crosswalk twice. My phone screen lights up with the battery warning. 3 drops of water pull around the plastic rim. The speaker overhead plays a lo-fi piano loop as the afternoon light turns thin. A stranger across the aisle turns a book page low. My thumb leaves a smudge where the cup sweats cold. The air conditioner hums at a steady low frequency, and I remember every little thing I was told. I sit here counting small things in the summer air. A yellow umbrella leaning on a plastic chair. The sharp cold bitterness coating my tongue. Your words from yesterday still stay young. The ice cube shift with a metallic sound as August turns the city pavement around. The window frame is 2 dead flies in the corner. Someone left a receipt folded into a paper crane. A black dog pauses near the shaded bus stop, looking at the sky like it might rain. My sleeve is pushed up to the elbow line. The straw bends double under my teeth. Every small detail sits in plain view with the heat burning bright underneath. You said I noticed things nobody else would name, like the squeak of a sneaker on clean tile floor, or how the cold drip gathers on the bottom rim before it spills down to the table once more. Maybe you were right about the way I hold every random second when the day gets cold. The condensation drips down to my wrist. A green light turns red on the empty street. Your voice from yesterday stays on my mind while the cold coffee fights the summer heat. Just another small detail in the afternoon. Just another small detail left behind. baked waffle cotton clings to sweaty skin. Staring at the condensation running down the plastic rim. 3 p.m. heat bakes the songs of pavement outside, while I stir this iced Americano trying to hide the way my mind drifts back to 2 years ago. You were sitting right across the same low table low, like and wearing that oversized thrift store shirt, laughing about how cold drinks make your teeth hurt. The ice clinks softly against the wall, bringing back the afternoon we lost it all. One sip of bitter espresso on my tongue, and suddenly I am back when we were reckless and young. Melting cubes in a plastic cup, I watch the memory down before it catches up. Summer breeze through the open door reminds me of the promises we do not make anymore. Cold brew dripping on my thumbs, waiting for the numbness till the evening comes. Yeah. Used to steal the straw wrapper, folding it tight, turning trash into origami under fluorescent light. I still order double shots whenever July gets thick. A habitual defense against the heat wave spell we cannot break quick. Your voice lingers in the hum of the air conditioner. A ghost guest sitting in the corner like a listener. I swipe my finger through the sweat on the side, watching our old argument dissolve and slide. We thought time would freeze if we stayed in the shade. We thought love was simple as the choices we made. But ice melts fast when the humidity takes hold, and now I am left alone, holding something this cold. Melting cubes in a plastic cup, I watch the memory down before it catches up. Someone breeze through the open door reminds me of the promises we do not make anymore. Cold brew dripping on my thumbs, waiting for the numbness till the evening comes. The straw leaves a circle on the glass. I watch the shadows on the asphalt pass. Finish the drink, leave the napkin behind. Just another summer afternoon in my mind. "1834 flickers red above our low sofa. Outside, the humidity wraps the city in heavy wool. I press the sweating tumbler against my pulse point. The cold espresso shocks my skin back to life. I look at you squinting through the afternoon glare and wonder what this exact hour looks like a decade from today. Ice cubes slide against glass like a quiet countdown. The August sun bakes the street below into hazy blur. I close my eyes and skip forward through the years to see if we still drink our coffee black with extra frost. Maybe we will sit on a wider balcony by 35 with bigger windows and a softer breeze cutting through the heat, holding identical cold brew glasses without the heavy worries, laughing at how frantic we used to be in our 20s. Just two people keeping cool in a future July, watching the ice melt slow out, time moves fast. In that imagined room, the rent is fully paid in advance. No late night panic about where our lives are heading. We have a real dining table and plants that actually survive, but the drink in our hands remains exactly the same. Dark roasted beans over crushed clear ice, a small cold anchor in the middle of a hot summer afternoon. Hey, hey, hey. Ice cubes slide against glass like a quiet countdown. The August sun bakes the street below into hazy blur. Hey. I close my eyes and skip forward through the years to see if we still drink our coffee black with extra frost. Right now the fan hums loud and the rent notice sits on the desk. We share one tiny AC unit that barely cools the floor, but taking a sip of this frozen dark liquid beside you makes the future feel less like a ghost and more like a promise. 1834 blinks forward to 35. The ice clicks softly against the glass. A future July is already waiting for us, one cold cup at a time.